This podcast is brought to you by Mapper Forward's new Patreon community, the Global Coffee Think Tank. Check the show notes or head to patreon.com/mapperforward to find out how you can become a member today. Welcome back to our fifth and final episode of our series with the fabulous Medina Ilyas. We are talking about Arabic coffee. We have gone around all of the subjects associated with this beautiful book of yours about the very unique style of coffee that is Arabic coffee. And today we're going to talk about the future of Arabic coffee and using the history of Arabic coffee to explore the future of what this beverage could end up becoming, particularly and most interestingly, maintaining and conserving the history of the recipes, because it sounds like the recipes are a deep part of the future of what this product could be. So Medina, tell us, what do you see as the future of Arabic coffee?
I think our younger generation is the future of our coffee, of the Arabic coffee, and it requires investments. So I personally feel that we are right now at that time and so much fragile time. And if we don't do something right now, and if we don't invest in time and money and efforts into preserving this heritage, it might disappear. But recently I saw that like Saudi Arabia called this year the year of kahwa, or they called the year of Saudi kahwa. And they put a lot of efforts from their side to preserve this heritage. I've just been to London, and in London, British Museum, for the first time in history, somewhere outside of the Middle East, there was an exhibition done by a lady actually who runs the Arabic department, and all around the laws and what the law means in the coffee and what is the heritage around it. So actually, if somebody is interested, it's still this exhibition will be till the middle of September in the British Museum in London. It's still there. So I see that different people from different parts of the world right now, different parts of the Arabic Peninsula, are putting efforts right now to preserve this heritage. But I think more efforts are required to be done. And what do I mean by this? It means that when I talk to the families and I ask them, can you please tell me how, about your coffee? Everybody says, it's a family secret.
Really?
I will pour you, but I will never share.
Wow.
So I said, okay, but do your kids do this? Oh, no, they don't want to do it anymore. They prefer to go to Starbucks. I said, okay, but think logically right now. You don't want to share it with me, and your kids are not doing it. How your recipe will survive? It means you are the last generation who will keep this recipe. And then people start thinking, then actually starting freaking out. And in 1 or 2 days, I will get this recipe.
Right.
And then
and this is how you've collected hundreds of recipes.
Yeah, more or less. Yes, exactly. I actually have over 700 recipes.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how it is, because they forget that we live in the technology period of time. So our era is very different. So we live in the globalization time when all the Western cafes are showing up. I'm not against them. I'm a big fan of espresso. And I brewed a particular one. I'm a big fan of Americano. It's not that I'm drinking Arabic coffee on a daily basis and nonstop. No. I drink different varieties of other coffees, and they need to be very good. So, but yes. I have a list of places where I go, or I do it myself at home. Yeah.
And that was gold.
Yes. That's particular.
They
coffee
need to be very good.
They need to be, yes. So, but you understand what I'm talking? Them saying that if we don't put the efforts right now to document it, to share it, so it will not be really preserved. I think that's now it's a work of the community, of the Arabic community, and that people need to share it. It's like I was just even recently talking about, it should be some sort of one hashtag, some sort of something a movement when the people are putting the videos and stories and saying, okay, that's my coffee, that's my family, that's my kahwa, that's how we do that. And then it's sort of a movement when the younger generation is feeling proud and they want to share. So I have a 13-year-old daughter who tried cappuccino and said, okay, I want to make cappuccino myself. I said, okay, why cappuccino? Why don't you try the Arabic coffee? And I went through with her through everything. The funny part that this 13-year-old child sometimes wakes up at 6:30 in the morning to make the Arabic coffee for herself.
Wow.
So she wakes up 45 minutes earlier than she should, also because she wants to brew it. Okay, there is a simplified version how to make it, how I taught her, but to brew the coffee for herself. And if she goes with me somewhere, she is happy to explain because she is aware of the background of the cultural heritage. So she's feeling proud to drink it, not because it tastes good, but also it's her heritage.
Yeah,
so I think we need to put efforts right now to preserve it. And I'm talking about it. I have a little bit of a story. Kazakhstan was a part of the Soviet Union, which did all the best to erase and destroy our cultural heritage. So when we were born in school and got our education, we were never taught who we are and what we have. We were not taught our own language.
Wow.
So, and there's almost the Soviet Union government almost succeeded to do that. Luckily, younger generation right now, they all speak only Kazakh. They all preserve their cultural traditions. But it took me 30 years to understand that I really wanted to go deeper and to go and start living with the families there to understand. So I don't want my kids to go through this. And I don't want that because it's very difficult to get back it after that. I think we should give it to them right now.
So what's your mission with this book? And we'll include links in the show notes if anybody wants to get a copy of this book. It's available on Amazon around the world. I got it here in Australia, which we're always the last to get everything here in Australia, but it's here. So this is the beginning of your journey. What comes next? Excuse me.
What comes next is actually that you're sitting at home in Australia and you don't need to be an Arab to drink an Arabic coffee. Of course, it's cool if you're talking about with your family, but you will be interested to drink the same way as to attending the Japanese tea ceremony. You will be interested to learn about it and to do it yourself, that you can come and try it with spices and with your families, or you can do it for yourself. So to make it more reachable, to make it it's a reintroduction of the coffee, of the Arabic coffee. And that can be modern, that it can be stylish, it can be very fashionable, it can be elegant, it can be extremely tasty, and it can go together with our daily modern life. So we can put them as a blended together with this.
And for those who want to learn how to brew it, you run Airbnb experiences, don't you?
Yes, I do. And all the experience is actually free.
Excuse me.
You can just go on Airbnb online experiences. And once in a month, I give a class, which is always free. The next one, I think it will be on the 4th of June. And so whoever gets the slots, it's always 10 slots there. And people attend, and I try to do in different time zones, depends on the time. So we have a special studio decorated for this. And it's a 1.5 hour workshop approximately, where the people go through everything from history to the brewing process on itself, step by step. And it's open for everybody and it's completely free.
I will include a link to that in the show notes as well.
Sure. I will send you the links, all the links over this, so you can go and add it there. And that's the whole point of this project, and that the coffee can be accessible, that it can be done by yourself. We even offer spices for the people they want. Okay, we don't know how to do that. So I guess, okay, we can put this, you can add these spices, and then that's how it will work.
Yeah, awesome. Medina, this has been such a pleasure. This podcast, I hope we kind of serve as a way of documenting the history of our industry as it's happening. And that's also what you're doing through your book. So it's, for me, it's really lovely that we've come together to do this. You're sharing that history by also hopefully creating a future for this beverage. So I really appreciate you, and I really appreciate what your intentions are with this book. And thanks for doing it. It's really great.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and I think there is a
My
really
pleasure.
great future. Really
Inshallah.
great.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Make sure you check out Medina. Make sure you grab the book. Head to the show notes and check everything out, and go follow her on social media. Peace, love, and peanut butter, everybody. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks, friends. If you enjoyed this video, here's what you should check out next. Consider supporting Map It Forward on Patreon, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell before you leave.